Talk about the state of spring ball, a week and a half in.
Yeah, we're about halfway through right now. We had practice number 6, a lot of install. Today, we kind of slowed things down. It was a no tackle day, a lot of mental work, but our guys are practicing fast. We got to do a better job taking care of the football. Our offense put the ball on the ground a couple times a day. It's always one side's doing good, one side's doing bad. Great for the defense going after the football and getting strips. Offense got to do a better job taking care of the football.
Anything that's standing out as far as the quarterbacks, as far as the progress they may be making?
I think all three are doing good things. But nobody's consistent enough yet that they're ahead of one of the other guys. They're all working with different groups, and I imagine it's going to be the same way throughout spring.
Can you talk a little bit about the decision to not have Martez go through live contact in spring and how you guys made that decision?
Well, we've done the same thing with guys who've been multiple-year starters. At that position, he's going to get enough touches next year and enough contact. We know what he can do. He's kind of proven himself. And so, this is an opportunity for younger guys to show what they can do. We know what Martez will do in the fall. He's going through all of our no-tackle stuff. We just don't want to get, hits on his legs.
Coach, how do you like the transition now that you've had some time with Wade and Antoine making that move?
I think it's good. I think anytime you've got new guys looking at positions, you have a different energy. I think you've got different ideas on how you drill things. And it makes the players know that, hey, I got to stay on my toes. I may have gotten to a comfort zone with a certain coach. Now I got to prove myself over again. And I think just that whole attitude of I got to earn it, I can't assume anything, has been really good.
That sounds like a lot of installing today, but anything in particular stand out to you just about today's practice?
No, I mean, we'll go in and we'll watch the film, because it's always hard up front to see what's going on just from outside. But, I think the quarterbacks are getting better at making their reads. As I mentioned earlier, we got to take care of the football better. We had a couple young guys put the ball on the ground. Great job defense stripping it, but not so good for the offense securing it.
Looks like you may have a new face with the secondary coaching. Is there a new assistant I see out there?
Well, he's just volunteering right now, but we'll we're hiring the GA here in a little bit, but we haven't done anything just yet.
That's Ricky out there? Is that Ricky out there? Ricky Manning?
He's just observing right now.
Okay. Can you tell us what you like about what Kyle Rittering has done this offseason and what he can bring?
Yeah, Kyle came in about 210 pounds last summer, and he's up to close to 250 right now. He's a guy that's got a great frame, a great attitude, works extremely hard. He's a guy, I'm not sure when he's going to stop growing. He may end up being a defensive end or an offensive tackle before the whole thing's over, but he brings a physicality, he brings competitiveness that I think really helps not just himself, but guys around him, because he's constantly competing.
At receiver, Coach, what was your message to Aaron Peck and Justin Johnson, kind of the two seniors in that class, a crew that's really kind of, I guess, maybe a little unproven? What was your message to them, in the offseason heading into spring ball?
Well, this is their senior year. This is their opportunity to lead. We've got some young, talented guys that haven't been there. They've been there, and it's up to them to make sure they set the standard. And the big thing, especially with Aaron, is being consistent. He's got ability. He's shown flashes at times, but we got to see a consistency out of him.
Maybe those guys might play with a little chip on their shoulder in the sense of it kind of seems like people are just kind of dismissing the receiving core, with the guys that they've had here in the past, and like almost like they're no-name guys. You think that could motivate them in a way?
Hopefully so. I mentioned before we got started here, Lou Holtz had a quote about, I don't mind starting the season with a bunch of no-names. I just don't want to finish the season with a lot of no-names. I think that's where we're at. We're a very blue-collar team. We've got a lot of guys that we know coming out of practice got some talent, but they haven't had that opportunity on Saturdays where people go see them. So those guys will push these older guys, and through the competition, whoever plays for us, I think is going to be good enough to help us compete for a championship.
You got 3 redshirt freshmen there at receiver too, who are all very talented. What does a redshirt year do, and what have you seen from maybe the minute they stepped on campus until now out of those guys?
Well, anytime you get an opportunity to redshirt, you're going to be lifting a little bit more than the guys who are going through. But you get a chance to understand our offense, go through our off-season program, so that at this point in this year, you have an idea, and you're just physically bigger and stronger and faster to compete. So the guys that have been out there, they've obviously been going at the tempo and going against college defenses. But the guys who redshirted, they've got a little extra bulk on them. So this is their chance to compete. Spring ball is all about competition, and I think we've got pretty good competition out there right now.
And if you got a kid named Keyshawn Johnson, if he's named Keyshawn Johnson, right, he's got to be good.
Yeah. he's got a chance to be really good. You know, consistency is key, but he's a guy. He's from Devontae's high school. We see some similarities between those two guys, both explosive athletes. He's not quite as thick as Devontae is yet, but he's working on it, and I think he's got a really big upside.
And even if they don't, you know, as they continue to progress, you know, those are guys who will be here for 3 more years. So you look at it and say, wow, the
well, at
future
least,
could be, at least.
Yeah, Keyshawn's got 4 years.
4 years. Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
He'll be a redshirt freshman.
You're right. You're great. Yeah. You know, I mean, the future. You know, they get some looks this year. They get some reps. They get some game action, and then down the road, even it could be even more promising, right?
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. We expect our guys to progress and develop every single year. You know, they're going to be just scratching the surface this year, but you know, they've got speed and explosiveness. I like where Delvon Hardaway's coming along. You know, he's got a lot of ability. Got a chance to, you know, see some of it last year, and we're hoping that he makes strides. He got banged up a little bit the other day, but he's out here pushing through, which is good to see.
And one thought for me, just on.
Oh, now run over it.
I'm just glad it's not a human being. The way you looked, I was like, uh-oh. Just one thought kind of on the tight ends and getting them more involved. From reading about it, I haven't been out here yet, but it sounds like more 2 tight end sets. Do you feel like that's a strength and you want to kind of accentuate that a little bit? Yeah,
we think we've got 3, again, young, but really talented tight ends. You know, Chad also got a chance last year to play some. Was a freshman, you know, All-American. You know, the other guys, Kyle Rittering and David Tonopah, those guys are pushing as well. So, you know, we're looking at trying to get our best 11 guys on the field at all times, and when you can switch personnel groupings between going four wides or 2 tights or 1 tight, 3 wides, and make a defense adjust with you, I think it's really good. Plus, it adds a physicality to our offense that maybe we hadn't had in the past when you can have effective guys in that 2 tight end set. So I think it helps you as a team, you know, getting to practice against it, but it's something that with the athletic ability that those guys have, we can line up in tight sets with those guys, or we can spread them out and you know, look for matchups that may not be favorable to a defense.
More of a power running game maybe then a little bit too?
Well, with those guys we can, absolutely. And then what we can also do is spread them out and be in a series where you're not having the substitute personnel, getting a power running play, maybe, you know, play action pass off it, and the next play, you know, spread everybody out and being empty, because we got guys who can make plays in space as well as get smashed out.